My dad wanted to come home too, but the doctors wouldn't let him, which is good. See, what I hope is that he has to stay away long enough that when he gets out, he can go right back to work. I don't think I could stand being stuck in the house all day with both my folks. Alicia is nodding as if what I'm saying is really interesting to her, but I've stopped talking, so she gives me another prompt. And your mom? She's at home now, right? I'm glad for the help because all of a sudden silence seems scary. I mean, what Mom said was kind of true. I hardly know this girl, and when I talk, I feel like my voice sounds funny. Yeah, she's home. She's okay, but she's still kind of weak. The taxi guy had to help her up the front steps when she got home. And then the second she got in the house, I had to do some cleaning because I could tell she was grossed out. I mean, I didn't do any dusting or anything while she was gone. But still, it was only 3 days. It's not like the house was a pit or something. While I'm talking, I glance at the door of the listening room. There's a guy there at the window, a man in a tweed jacket about 40 years old with a big head of wild hair. He stops, looks in, sees Alicia, looks at his watch, and then walks on. Alicia nods. Yeah, my mom's the same way, and my dad too. Neatness freaks. And now that I can't see anything, it's even worse. They're afraid for me all the time. Like if a shoe is lying in the wrong place, they think I'm going to trip over it and break my neck. I pounce on that idea. You said you've been blind for 2 years, right? Because that's something we haven't talked about yet. She nods. Uh-huh. A little more than 2 years now. I asked about that yesterday, but you didn't tell me how it happened. She shrugs and blushes a little. It just happened. That's the dumb part. It's not like there was some disease or a terrible accident or anything. But like something had to happen, right? Her upper lip curls into a little sneer. She snaps. Yeah, well, duh, Bobby. I mean, something happened. Of course something happened. I don't know what to say. Talking with her, it's like walking along on ice. And I think it's safe. And then I take one more step, and everything starts to crack and buckle. And under the ice, there's this dark river. We're both quiet. Then she takes a deep breath and lets it out slowly. And she smiles a little. Sorry. It's just, I don't know how to tell about it. I think about this stuff, but I don't talk about it. I look at her face the whole time, and I can see her thinking, deciding if she wants to talk. And it's like she's going a long way back somewhere so she can look around and remember. Then in a quiet little voice I have not heard before, she starts talking. It just happened 2 years ago. It was night. It was cold, January 19th, 2 days before my birthday. My mom had left the window open. I remember being really cold and waking up without any covers on. I reach over the side of the bed where they usually fall off, and they weren't there. So I reached toward the other side, toward the windows. And I fell out of bed. I just fell and hit my head. I didn't think anything about it. It didn't even hurt that much. I just got up and kind of shook it off. She pauses. This is hard for her, but she keeps going, talking in that small voice. I wasn't really awake, so I just grabbed my quilts off the floor and pulled them around me and went back to sleep. But in the morning was horrible. I knew I was awake, but it was like I was still asleep, or like I was lost inside this big, dark thing. But I knew I was home in my own room. I could hear the birds on the feeder outside, and I could feel the sun on my face at the window, feel the cold grass on my fingertips. But I couldn't see anything. The guy in the tweed jacket is back at the door of the room. Must be waiting for a seminar meeting. He looks in, acts as if he's going to open the door, then leaves again. Alicia takes a long, ragged breath and then wills herself to calm down. You remember how mad I got yesterday when you said you were invisible? Yeah, well, part of that was because that's exactly how I felt that first morning, the whole first year when I was suddenly the little blind girl. It was like I became invisible. I couldn't see myself. I couldn't see me going to dances or college or grad school. Couldn't see myself becoming an archaeologist. I was never going to get to see the pyramids or the Valley of the Kings. And I couldn't even see getting married or having kids or anything I used to wish about. Everything just disappeared.